Flow. We're actually down a couple Beer Flow men. So Joe is away doing some other things, and Todd is having a little bit of technical difficulty. Hopefully Todd jumps in, but I do have Eric here. Welcome again, buddy, from Michigan. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How you been, brother?
Good, good. So Eric's already started drinking because he's had a rough day at work, and I can't disagree with him. So I've been busy the last few days. So I'm actually going to start off with a brown bag special. That's how rough it's been. I'm bagging it tonight. I went back to one of my old college beers. I saw this story. I'm gonna open the show with that one.
All right, but before you bring it out, Colt 45.
No, not the Colt 45. Although that is another brown bag beer. This is another one. I'll give you. It's got an extra ounce.
Natty Daddy.
You can almost see that. I had to turn around.
Oh, is it Rolling Rock?
That is what it is. So I decided to drop back to a beer from back in the day, back in my days in college. I need to pull up the one thing so I can see the comments since Joe's not here.
Yeah, I'm going to bring him up too.
But I haven't had that for so many years. And
did you get a Rod J special?
No. Well, I don't think you need a Rod J special on Roller Rock. I mean, it's like $1.25 or $1.50 a can or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Why don't I just pick that up tonight and see what that tastes like? I've never done a review on it, which is funny, but I figured it was something different enough to just give this baby a shot. I didn't frost my glass, although I probably should have with Rolling Rock, but
oh well.
This takes me back some years here for sure.
Is that one of the first beers you drank?
Not one of the first, but just like drinking it like in college because it was one of the cheaper beers.
Yeah.
Not that every beer you drink in college is a great beer because we used to drink Milwaukee's Best all the time, and back then we had like Red Dog and we had.
I can still get Red Dog.
I still get Red Dog here in some spots. Yeah, I think the beers we drank back then, the other beers, had your MGD, you had your Miller Lite, of course, you had your Budweisers, your Bud Lights, all that kind of stuff. But it was more of the cheaper type beers. You know, when you're struggling college students, you're drinking cheap beer a lot of the time. So
most of the time it was malt liquor for me.
Well, that was the other option too. So, but I would remember I would just go to West Virginia. So in West Virginia, it was very common to have parties of grain. So one nice little bottle of Everclear would do you a long time. So we had a lot of those punch bowl parties where you put it in the fruit.
Yeah.
So those are good things. That brought back some memories. What I can remember, it brought back some memories.
Now, I remember us having big garbage cans, and people would just bring what they got, and they just dump it in this garbage can.
You would line it out, and then, so, man, that probably wasn't as safe. But then again, you play beer pong, and, like, probably not the best places to play beer pong. So, no telling what that ball rolled over.
Right. But I'm not too far down in the kind of the macros, but I'm drinking a Blue Moon Summer Honey Wheat.
Yeah. So what do you think of that one?
A little bit of skunkiness. It's not bad. I think the Samuel Adams Summer Ale and the Yuengling Summer Wheat's much better. Much better. Which I was out in Pennsylvania, and I seen they have the Golden Pilsner, which I was going to upload that video, but I watched it. I'm like, God damn, it wasn't a very good video, so I just hit delete.
Now, you're more of an adjunct guy than me, but I tell you what, it actually isn't that bad drinking this one.
I've never got into Rolling Rock. You know my preference. I'm a Miller guy, so
yeah, you are a
Miller guy. Coors.
But for an adjunct type lager, it says extra pale. Latrobe Brewing, so out of PA, and of course says Bum Stomping Grounds. Speaking of which, Eric Gilbert says cheers. Malted in Montreal, Swami says hello. Bum says I saw the green, I thought it was from Mickey's, so he tried to peek in the bag before I pulled it out.
I almost said Mickey's too, but I'm like, nah, it can't be Mickey's.
Hello, Elbow. Elbow 88 says I got my beer on. Cheers. That's right, get your beer on, baby. And Bum says Rod Payne pays less for craft beers now than he did for swill back then. I kind of do on some of them.
Yeah,
Right.
you do.
Right. I get some deals. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
That's not always a bad thing.
I can't even deny it. So, Eric Gilbert said, I just smashed 2 of Ontario's new hype beers, Nickelbrook's Wicked Awesome IPA. Nice. Swami says, I'm not drinking, got a very long ride tomorrow. So, Swami, you heading out of town or got some stuff going on? What's up with that? Coming to America like Eddie Murphy? What's up? Eric Gilbert says, Rolling Rock is solid. I do agree. It is. It's solid. It doesn't really hold the head well on the retention, but as far as the taste, it's actually not a bad lager.
Yeah, I think you need to do a review of that one there, Rod, on your channel.
I have to go pick up another can and I may do another review of it. I tell you, it's just decent. Like, I always joke around about the adjunct lagers and stuff, but not like I hate it. Like, definitely I hate Shandy's more. But, you know, it's a decent style enough. Obviously, Budweiser, they made enough money off of it, right? So people do like the taste of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's on his bike trip. Good luck on that too, Swami. He's going to be hitting Route 66 to go from Montreal to Cali. So they're doing a bike ride.
Oh, wow. He's got one hell of a bike ride then.
Yeah. So that would be a nice little thing. They're going to take the cycles down, and then I think he's going to fly back, I believe.
What kind of bike do you got?
Yeah, what kind of cycle you got there, Swami? And Junior's Brew Review says, hey, what's good, Rajay? What's up, Junior? I feel like, though, with this one, I do get more of the sweetness, though. That's the only thing, because you can just tell they have the adjuncts in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's going down easy. On a hot day, it's not a bad one to go down. Like, if I was outside doing yard work today and came inside, I'd be okay to knock this back. I'd probably chuck through it a lot quicker if I wasn't doing the show, but.
Right.
So it says a Suzuki C90T.
Nice. That must be like a 4-cylinder model then, I think. It might be a 2-cylinder.
Well, Junior.
I've always wanted to get a bike, but I'd kill myself on one.
According to my wife, it's too late now because I should have done it when I was younger. And she's like, now you're too old to try to get one.
You're never too. Wait a minute. You're never too old.
I get the 3 tricycle bike. I mean, I can get the 3-wheel. I don't care.
Yeah, tell your wife to get a trike.
Yeah, and just roll with that.
And she's probably hearing that. She's going, oh, man.
Well, I got one of my buddies here. He has his bike. He's been letting me do it for years. He's like, let me go cross country like wild hogs. I'm like, dude, that was a movie.
I'll tell you.
A bunch of us are going to want to drive across country on a bike.
I'll tell you what. I went to Hell, Michigan once, and I've never seen so many bikes in one spot.
Yeah.
Never seen so many bikes in one spot.
Have you ever rode a bike?
No, I haven't. That's why I'd kill myself on one.
I mean, I've done it in an arcade. Does that count? I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, a dirt bike, but I mean, for me, it was a dirt bike, but it's been years since even they did that.
Yeah. I would think, you know, once you can kind of get it down, you're solid enough, ready to rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
And Junior said, review the Cherry Mild, amazingly beautiful. And Tim's Brews, welcome, Tim, says, good one for me. So I think he likes the Rolling Rock.
Yeah.
And Junior says, the Tim was good, brother. So I thought tonight, like, apparently last week, which I didn't even realize, I've uploaded like my 1,000th video, which was like surprising. Like, it doesn't feel like I've loaded that. I mean, I know I did a lot, but it just didn't feel like 1,000 as much. So I figured tonight be like a fun night just to have like an appreciation night, because I appreciate everybody that watches the channel and the people that are on the blog, and we have people in the Facebook group and on Twitter and everything, you know, and just if there's people that want to ask questions or want to talk about different beers, I would like to kind of just bring in the comments and kind of address that and bring up stuff and make it more of a fan appreciation type night. So if people have stuff out there, light up the comment board and ask.
I guess I'll kind of start it off here with just kind of me just asking a question. What's your, I don't want to say your least favorite, but what's your kind of hardest beer to try to judge on and to get tastes and things like that?
The hardest one to try to like pull out the characteristics like when reviewing the beer.
Yeah.
It's funny, the other night I haven't uploaded it yet, but I did a lambic and that was a tough style. I mean, I've got like the sour, the tart, the apple and stuff like that when I had down from that one. But after that, I'm kind of like trying to fill out some of this stuff. And I just haven't drank enough lambics to really pull it out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes, like one of the guys I work with, I was telling him that Zombie Dust is a American Pale Ale. He's like, no, it's not. It's an India Pale Ale. I'm like, no, it's an American Pale Ale. And he was like, pulls it up, and he's like, well, it does say Pale Ale, and then it says American Pale Ale on Beer Advocate. And sometimes, like IPAs, I think is a little tight on calling them as well. So it's almost like I need to probably do some blind tasting to really try to pull. I mean, the difference between an American IPA versus the just American Pale Ale, that little difference probably in the hops is what sets it apart. So, I mean, I'm no Cicerone. I mean, I just stay at a Holiday Inn, but I'm no Cicerone. It's a matter of trying to find those little type of things. I mean, is there a style that you usually struggle with?
All right. All right, I'm gonna kind of come in here to the comments now. Where's one here?
You didn't answer my question.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Sorry.
I was saying, is there a style you usually struggle with?
Yeah, for me, it's amber ales.
Yeah,
it's that style always throws me for a loop. They always seem to be really bland, I guess, and there's not a whole lot there, and it's just really hard for me to pull out any kind of flavors for being an amber ale.
Right.
It's just a style I struggle with, and I probably always will.
Yeah.
But usually IPAs, stouts, porters, sours, even though I haven't been really sours are few and far between on my channel. Right. But yeah, I mean, any of those styles you can usually get the characteristics of the beer. But for an amber ale, it's really hard for me to distinguish unless it's bumped up in the ABV a little bit. Then you can kind of distinguish what's what.
Right.
But other than that, I can't. If it's like 5, 5.2, 5.5, good luck for me.
Right. So were you going to hit the comments, you said?
Yeah, I'm going to hit the comments here. What is it? Jason I'm probably pronouncing this incorrectly. Vorhesi, he says, is it too early for fall beers?
Yes. And knowing that, I'm probably about a week or two before starting seeing the first pumpkin beers out there. Pumpkin beers, to me, come out way too early. And I know what it is. It's basically the business side of the breweries trying to be the first ones to the market. So everybody's trying to get there a little earlier to get their stuff in before it dies off and the taste of too much pumpkin hits the air and people have to just start dumping stuff. I think it's too early for fall beers. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's too early as well, but I've seen pumpkin sit on the shelf year round. I mean, I could go right now and go out and grab one and bring it back.
Yeah.
So, but if you're into pumpkin beers year round, I guess that's your thing.
That's what I appreciate about some of the breweries that kind of stick to, we're going to release this at one time a year only.
Yeah.
You kind of look forward to it. You don't get burnt out on it for some of them. So,
yeah. Brumfruff says, fan appreciation night. Are there any prizes involved?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe come up with something, I guess.
And I'm probably hacking up the names too, and I apologize. I'm trying to do my best. I'm no average Joe doing this, okay?
Jason is, and I call him Voorhees, like Jason off of Friday 13th. Jason Voorhees.
Raining on Your Parade is here. He says, I'm having a Hemper right now with a corned beef Reuben. It's a great match. The Hemper works very well with the food. The hemp seeds works well with the pumpernickel bread. Cheers, fellas.
Yeah. And I like the Hemper. I know it's getting kind of a love-hate relationship out there. There's a thin line between love and hate. And I think it's tasty. But I've had hemp beers before, and I've been around hemp, and I kind of know what to kind of expect with it. And I think some people that, I wouldn't say that they're not used to it, but it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things, kind of like an acquired type taste, acquired type aroma. It's like some of the other things that you have, like, I forgot we were on one of the shows before. It might have been Joe that said it, but like first time he had barley wine, he didn't like it or something, but you acquire a taste for it over a period. I think it might have been Joe. It might not have been. So Joe, if I put words in your mouth, I apologize about that. But I just remember someone bringing that up, and it takes a point sometimes for your palate to get fitted into some of these other different styles.
Jason says again, going back onto the pumpkin beers, do they use actual pumpkins?
Do who use actual?
I guess like the pumpkin from
Oh,
Southern Tier. Do they use like actual pumpkins?
I'm not sure in Southern Tier if they're using the actual or the flavors. I'd have to look at their information. It doesn't taste as artificial. Now, for me, for like the pumpkin beer, I think Pumpkin is good, but I think Warlock is actually better, which is like their Imperial Pumpkin Stout. I think that comes across a little bit better. I'm thinking they're probably using the flavoring. I'm not sure if I've seen anybody that I'm trying to think of that has actually used actual pumpkins. Not to say that I'm sure somebody probably does. I'm just trying to think who does in their fermentation.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you if they use actual pumpkins or not. I just don't know.
And then Joe says most true craft breweries use pumpkins, but it's usually canned.
Yeah,
you're canning it. It's like it's not fresh. With the fresh pumpkin.
Brandon Garrett says my wife made me treat my emperors outside.
That's pretty funny. Some of the comments I've seen about the Hemperor is that some people have been drinking it, and the next day is like they're burping up weed. So they go to work or whatever, like they burp or whatever, so they feel like they're burping up weed and stuff. People are like, what does that smell? So it does have a lingering effect, I guess, for some people.
Foamy Head 13 says, "What's up, everyone? I'm having a Stone Idolatricious IPA. Cheers."
Cheers, Foamy Head. I haven't had that one yet. I got to get back into more of the Stone beers. I just haven't done it. I know a lot of people are getting the Stone Whoop right now, which is pretty popular. So
yeah, I can get quite a bit now of their what is it? Their Enjoyed by series, and quite a bit of their beers all together. It's just, I mean, when we talked about it when we were doing our brewery kind of show where we just picked a brewery and we just went with it.
Yeah.
To me, Stone just, I mean, there's so many great beers out there, and there's so many beers I want to try. I just don't grab a Stone Brewing beer anymore. There's so many in Michigan alone. I can't say across the United States, just in Michigan alone, there's a hell of a lot of beer for me to try.
You're not starving on beer in Michigan. That's
no.
That's a big ass can. That's 25 ounces, y'all. That's
you can do it, buddy. You can do it. You can do it.
5 ounces of Roller Rock. Joe did make a zombie dust drinks more like an IPA than a pale ale. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on your palate and what you may have had. To me, it feels more like a pale ale when I actually drink it than some of the IPAs. But again, it depends on that type of IPA you're having. Some IPAs sometimes don't even feel like IPAs. So, yeah. Said hello and howdy to the crew as well.
Tim's Brew is on our show, and he says, "I wonder if you can pass a drug test with these." I think he's talking about the Emperor.
I was thinking about that before when I had it. Like, does this show up? Like,
now, is that brewed with actual like hemp or marijuana or anything like that?
It's brewed with hemp, but there's no THC or anything like that. So,
all right.
The Lagunitas beer coming out in California will have THC, small amounts. I mean, I don't know how much it would take. I forgot. We looked at one of the charts. I think it takes a bunch for it to actually register for anything. But
no, you have a Lagunitas rep, don't you?
Yeah, up in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah. You should probably talk to him and ask him if it could be detected on a drug test. If it the one with the THC.
Well, out there, yeah. That might be a good question to ask him. But he'd be like, "Oh, it's just people in California. They don't care."
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
And Jason asked if Amber is even one style. And Amber is a style of beer. So it seems to refer to anything between pale and stout porter color. The color of it refers to it, but there's also the taste of it that goes into the taste and flavor notes that you're actually feeling as well that affect Amber. So yeah, they do have a style. BJCP does see it as a style and does get judged on it for Amber beers.
Earth is here. He says 750 milliliters of Rolling Rock.
You do the math, son.
What's going on, Drunken One?
And let me see here. Tim says stouts are for me. I don't know why they wanted to taste like coffee. Well, I mean, there's different ranges for the stout, and when you're looking at the malts that are used, the malts they're actually using are more of a coffee-based type malt. They're darker type malts, so you're going to have that type of feel in it. A malt, I mean, a stout is basically still a porter. It's just a different type of porter. I mean, all stouts come from porters. And that's the difference between a roasted, like in a porter versus what you're getting in a stout. But I enjoy the coffee part of it. That's why I enjoy the stouts. But I've had some that they don't really hit as much as coffee now. They're so thin. Yeah. It's kind of like, must just call it a porter,
Right. And guys, go ahead, Rod.
No, I just like a big stout, is all I was going to say.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to go ahead and I'm going to do a plug on Rod's channel here. Go ahead and put us on your Twitter account. If you got a Twitter account, go ahead and put it on your Twitter account. Also put us on your Facebook account. Try to get some more viewers on here for Mr. Rod J.
Oh, thanks. I'll send you $5 tomorrow.
just send me a Miller Lite. I'll be good with
that. Eric said canned pumpkin pie, baby. Talking about the canned pumpkin. And then Tim's Brew says, I wonder if you can pass. Oh, that's what you read, the drug test thing already. Okay.
Yeah. Well, right. actually, Average Joe's in here. The Beer Patrol, he says, I'm pretty sure the pumpkins are harvested starting in August, so the brewing of a beer with the pumpkins and releasing it in July or August, like pumpkins, for instance, or pumpkin, for instance, excuse me, would make me believe that they are canned pumpkins.
Maybe.
And then the Craft Beer Zombie says, have you had any of those glitter beers?
No.
I have not either.
Not because of not wanting to maybe try to see what it's like, although I'm not going to hunt them down. We haven't had a brewery here that's actually offered it yet. So the breweries here haven't gotten that fancy with it to offer a glitter beer. I'd try just to see what it tastes like or whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a gimmicky type thing, I know, but
I haven't came across any yet, although I haven't really been searching for it either.
Yeah. And I haven't had a brute IPA yet. That's another style that I want to have. I keep hearing good things about, and that's out in Earth World.
Brewed IPA, is that what you said?
Brute, B-R-U-T.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a champagne type IPA.
Oh, all right.
I'm not a huge champagne type person, but people seem to be dinging the brute IPA.
Yeah. And come on, folks. Let's get some questions in the comments.
Drunken One, he was late, so yeah, we got you. We forgive you. Yeah. Tim said, "What's up, the Drunken One?" And let me see. And Drunken One said, "Hello to everybody." As he read down the names. And how to the D, howdy. Earth says, "What up, D1?" So he's kind of Drunken One down to just D and 1, capital D and a 1. I kind of like that. It's a good nickname for Drunken One. Jason said, what kind of preservatives do they contain? Talking about maybe the canned pumpkin.
Probably your normal crap that comes in everyday kind of food, I'm guessing, to try to keep the food as fresh as it can.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
They're FDC approved, I guess, as it's food.
Yeah.
Or FDA, rather. Craft Beer Zombie has not had one. Talking about the sparkling beer.
I wonder, since you brought the FDA up, and this is just because I'm asking because I don't know. I wonder if they actually use the FDA approved stuff, that the beer that they use to brew it also has to be FDA approved.
Did again? So?
Yeah. So if I have something that I'm going to brew a beer with and it's FDA approved, if I use that in my brewing process, do I also have to have that FDA approved as well?
Oh, I would doubt that.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I think that once you buy the food is good, but what you do with it is on you at that point. Because I don't know if the FDA does actually do anything with the beer industry, really.
Yeah, I thought it was like the alcohol, tobacco,
and fire. They regulate it and stuff. I don't know who checks the ingredients and stuff, if they have them do anything at all, or you're kind of on your own. It's a good question. Who does make sure that we have quality control?
All right. Brandon Garrett says, there's anyone like Dogfish's mixed media, 49% grapes?
I have not had the mixed media, but the what did I just have that had I just had their Dogfish had Yum Yum. That one was actually pretty decent.
I had their 60, their 90, their 120, which the 120 is like, whoa. I mean, you better, if you're drinking that fresh, you better be ready for an alcohol hit.
How much are you paying for the 120 now?
I think I bought a 4-pack for $30.
Actually, that's a pretty damn good deal. That's on the 120. That's a Rod J deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean here now they're down like $9.99 a bottle. So.
And I think I bought I have one in my cellar. It's the Vanilla Worldwide Stout.
I still got to do that one. I got that one in the cellar too. Yeah.
And I think I paid like $11.99 for that one for a 12 ounce, which. But you got to consider how much alcohol's in it and probably all the ingredients and shit they put in it too.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't consider that too bad. That's why I bought it.
Yeah, I think at the Worldwide was like around $9.99 when I got it here, but
yeah, I just hope the vanilla doesn't fade. I think it's going like over a year right now. I just hope the vanilla doesn't fade. But
yeah, well, it's got the ABV to hold it, but yeah, the vanilla over a period you might have a little bit of a fade there, but I bet it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Jason said dibs on Twilight Sparkle, talking about the sparkling beer. Eric says, I don't think that's allowed, Jason Voorhees, LOL. And Joe says, Brute IPA sound interesting, but not a fan of overly dry beers, which it basically is. So, yeah, I just want to kind of see what that style is going to offer, because I hear people talking about it, and some people seem to be enjoying it out there. I saw a picture today in one group, and forgot what group it is, but it was some bar out in Seattle, and they were actually serving IPA in bowls.
An IPA in bowls? Is that what you said?
Like, yeah, it was like in a bowl. It was like this Seattle bar or whatever. You have basically a bowl of IPA.
That's pretty awesome.
I guess you pick it up, and you drink out the bowl that way. So don't know what that's all about, but
how much is that?
It's doing, yeah.
How much does that cost? Do we want to know?
Pretty soon we'll get to a point where the beer will just be taken in through IV at some point. So yeah.
True.
Eric, you can have Rainbow Dash. Paul says, "Ooh, Rainbow Dash." Eric says, "What's a Rainbow Dash?" I want to know.
Yeah, I don't. Based on what that means, I think I don't want to know what that is.
This isn't like a Dirty Sanchez or anything. Earth says he's had one Brute IPA that he was aware of. Said not impressed, so he's not really impressed with what he had. Joe says not surprising. Earth doesn't sound all that inviting to me personally. Paul says cereal milk IPA out of a bowl.
Cereal milk IPA.
And Eric says that a Brute Saison works much better in his opinion, which I've had some of the Brute Saisons like that, and for that it's not a bad mix, with the kind of the champagne type feel to it. But you got to like carbonation, you got to like that bubble action in your mouth, because that's what you're going to get when you have the Brute. It's kind of like a champagne of beer. Sorry, Miller, but that's kind of like the champagne of beer. So.
Mm-hmm.
And all this Rainbow Talk, Paul's like My Little Pony references for the win. Because Paul does like
Paul, come on, man. Come on.
And somebody did call him a brony, I believe, on there. So, and the Craft Beer Zombie says, just like my Facebook, love this format. Well, thank you, Craft Beer Zombie.
What do you have on your Facebook format?
I guess just the open talk and open involvement for everybody and everything.
Oh, you do like Facebook Live stuff?
Well, no, we do my Facebook page, and we have the Beer Coalition.
Oh, yeah.
People are just taking it apart and stuff. So, yeah, if you guys like beer and you're on Facebook, you can check out the Beer Coalition page. A lot of good stuff there. There'll be a lot of people sharing from people that review beers, talk about beers, just like beers, and some that work in the brewing industry.
Now, I seen something and I actually almost bought it. It's from New Holland Brewing, but they have it like a spirits division.
Right.
They have like a rum and Coke, and it came in like 8-ounce cans. Have you seen them down there yet?
I've seen those. I haven't tried it yet, but I've seen them.
I haven't tried them either. I've been wanting to.
Well, I think I'm going to do another. I did the Castmates, although I wasn't as impressed with the IPA version because it just didn't deliver what I thought. But I want to do the stout one, so I may get a bottle of that at some point and do a review of that too. And then Joe says, yeah, if you're a fan of champagne, then I can imagine brewed IPAs will be in your wheelhouse for sure. Definitely think that. And Paul says, just say no, Joe. Earth says a local brewery has a coffee pilsner right now. Not sure that's a winner. That'd be interesting, a coffee pilsner. I mean,
yeah, that kind of seems.
got pale lagers. I mean, these hoppy lagers out there now. So
I don't. Do they even make a coffee lager? Anybody?
Not that I remember offhand, but give it time.
The lager and the pilsner and that coffee added just doesn't seem to. To me, it just doesn't seem to blend well together.
We'll get drunk on one, or we'll get Tim's Brews to make a batch.
There you go. There you go.
We could open up a whole new line of success right there.
There you go.
Paul says Castmates night, hot rod to Hammer Jones. Apparently, people liked when I did the Castmates, and well, I started out when I did the Castmates. I was doing it on Swami show, Malton of Montreal. Make sure you check out Malton of Montreal, you guys, if you like whiskey. He does a lot of good stuff, has a lot of good people on there. And on the label, it tells you to enjoy on ice or enjoy it on ice with an IPA. So basically, it's encouraging you to two-fist. Not really the best night for people to start out, probably, but it actually does go down kind of smooth on the back end. So do that for a while, do that in a while, and then left that and went to Nick's channel, Maxwell Star. Make sure you guys check him out as well. And I was on there drinking Castmates, and yeah, so started floating more and more into the night. So I remember everything that happened, but apparently I was more animated or something too. But it is what it is. It was a fun night, I'll say that. But when I woke the next day and I saw about a quarter of the bottle left, I said I probably drank too much of this last night.
Well, I'm about ready to dig into this mango wheat and kind of see how it is. The honey wheat was all right.
Brandon Garrett says Castmate Stouts is delicious. Jason Voorhees says Schwarzbier maybe. What I do, I would like to try some more Schwarzbiers. Tim's Brew says the rum and coke. PA Brew News Buzz Beer. And then Joe says I've had a few coffee cultures that I enjoyed, so I can see a pilsner working well. Also had a coffee lager. So he did have a coffee lager. Better than you think it would be, Eric.
Where was the coffee lager out of, Joe?
And then Drunken One says, I'll give it hell. Tim says, wait till you'll see what I'm doing. You'll have to mix Jack with. So Tim's got something going on that he's batching up right now, it sounds like. Earth says, a pale lager with coffee to me would be a mindfuck like Golden Stouts. And Paul says, Eric drinking only quality beer again. I see.
Hey, at least I don't drink my beer boiling hot.
Joe says it was a New York State brewery, so one of the local ones there. And then Craft Beer Zombie said, where are y'all from? So I'm actually here in northern Kentucky, but more the Cincinnati area. So most people will just classify as Cincinnati area where I'm located. Mm-hmm. Eric's up in Lansing, Michigan. And then if people want to say where they're at in the chat, feel free. Joe, who's usually here, is up in Buffalo. And then Todd, who can't seem to get in, he's over in Indiana.
Yeah.
Elbow says, hello from Florida. Local beer of the night is Death Roll by Red Cypress Brewery. It's a milk stout.
I've heard of Red Cypress Brewery.
Nice.
I have heard of those guys.
And Tim's Brew said, with beer, South Carolina. And Brandon Garrett, Southeast Ohio. So Brandon's not, I don't think Brandon is that far from me. So maybe one day do a meetup. Oh, that was the other cool thing. So this past Sunday, I go on Joe D's show with, if you guys watch Joe D does some pretty good stuff on the beer and everything. You can catch his show usually Saturday nights at 7 Eastern, I believe, is when he starts. And so one of the guys on there usually is Mark, who's known Joe for years. Well, Mark came to Cincinnati, and I've known Mark now off and on, I guess, for maybe almost a year or so from going on the show. Came to Cincinnati, so we hung out at Mad Tree Sunday, and we did some beers and had some good conversation and stuff, but you got a chance to see one of our breweries. Had a great time coming up. So always kind of cool when you can meet other people from across the beer achievement community, so to speak.
Yeah.
Drunken One, South Texas. And Drunken One, we tried to, I think you disappeared last week. There was a piece we did. It was like the top 5 breweries in Austin you need to check out. So we'll have to get you that so you can check out those breweries down there. Bum's drinking a Rheingeist Streaker right now. So, yeah, since he made, Bum's drinking a beer from where I'm at. Paul says the old adage Uranus, talking about where he's from, that old joke we used to tell back in grade school. And he got a ha out of Earth for it. Jason says Joe D is the real king of beer tube. Yeah, Joe's he's the OG. Paul says boom. Paul then says bullshit, JV, talking to Jason Voorhees.
How long has Jody been doing kind of YouTube and beer and stuff?
Bum would actually know that. Bum, if you want to respond. I think Joe's been doing it. This is like 2018, maybe going back to 2010 or something, 2011. Bum would definitely know. And Bum asked if there any photos or pictures for a meetup. Yeah, so we took a shot because Joe asked us to take a picture. So we took a shot at the brewery and put it on Instagram, and then we sent it to Joe as well, so he knew that we actually did get together. I can pull it up here, see if I have it. Let me take a look here. I can find it.
Oh, you're gonna bring up the photos?
Yeah, we decided to we took a few different bites, put them all together like in the one picture. I know I sent it to you guys because you guys saw it in our message board thing.
Yeah, I seen it. It looked like you were getting up and out of the chair, and all of a sudden the camera snapped.
Yeah, well, it was funny because I know I can actually go there and pull it up, can I? Mark's wife is short. So I was feeling like I needed to squirt down so she can get us both in the camera together. And then by the time it looks like I'm like drunk or decrepit or something going on. I mean, the way is like, I don't know, it's like, it is what it is. But
yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
Like, is Mark helping Rodney out or what? What's happening there?
It kind of looks like you were getting up out of the chair and she kind of snapped it real quick.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. At least to me, that's what it looks like.
Let's see if I can find it
here. Joe's been on YouTube since 2007 or so. First share of beer was February of 2009.
Like I said, yeah, he's an OG from back then.
Yeah. Exactly. What he has, like 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers or something, or maybe even more than that.
Yeah, he was one of the first people that I saw when I went online and started watching some of the beer tubing.
Yeah, I started watching him a couple of times. Watching him, DJ BrewTube. Who's another old OG that's back in about 2, 3, 4 years ago. There was a couple other people, and I go, well, fuck, I can do that. And
yeah. There were some good ones that don't do it now, but there were some good people for sure.
I see Ethan's kind of back. He kind of had a little bit of kind of hiatus, and now he's back.
Right. There we go. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
I'm sure there's more that are out there that people just don't watch, or maybe their content sucks. I think my content sucks when I use it, but yeah, I guess that's what it is.
We're kind of all of our toughest critic, right? So.
Mm-hmm. But Paul, his is the worst out of everybody. Paul's the worst.
Yeah, he does that painting. It's like, why are you painting, Paul? Why are you painting?
But I know we give Paul shit about that, but really, man, I watched one. I'm like, holy shit, that dude can paint.
Awesome when he does it. Yeah, he So
yeah, he does.
Here's the photo. We were at Mad Tree. And so,
yeah, it kind of looks like you're kind of getting up and out of the chair, getting ready to stand up.
Yeah, I felt like I had to lean down because she was so short. I was like, I didn't want her to like stretch any further, I guess. But Mark isn't really that much taller than me. I don't know why I did it, but. And then there's some of the beers we were having there and stuff. So it was a good time.
Looks like you got maybe a blonde ale, brown ale, and maybe two darker, maybe a lager and a pilsner, maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. On this rack here, this right here is the barrel. I think that was the barrel aged Axis Mundi, which is fantastic. Like the NBA, this is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, I think actually all three of these were different versions, essentially, of IPAs.
Oh, okay.
So this was like, yeah. Because I was trying to find the ones I had not had from them before. So, which is a tough thing you run into sometimes. I don't know if you find the same, like when you go to visit these breweries, when you're doing all these different things, you're trying to find ones you haven't had.
Yeah.
And it's like, and also like you're looking, and the people are like, "Well, do you need any assistance?" No, I know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find out the ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something that I haven't had yet. Yeah.
Do I look like a newbie over here?
Yeah. I guess, have you had anybody, kind of when you're out and about say, "Hey, I know you from YouTube"?
Only once, like at one of the beer festivals, there was a person, it was a woman and her husband, and she said she recognized me from doing the beer stuff on YouTube. So I was like, really? She's like, yeah,
same with me.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I mean, I know some of the people now around here, like we just one of the guys just described here, they actually run the party store, so we're one place I get beers and stuff down the street, and they're doing a beer channel. So I know a couple of their guys and stuff like that and everything. So I told them, hey, you guys like 15 minutes away from me. We should get together and maybe do a collab at some point or something.
There you go. There you go.
But let me see here. Let's see. Paul asked Joe, did you have the Manhattan Ale from Southern Tier yet? Junior said reviewed O'Doul's not too long ago. That was interesting. Junior, if you're reviewing O'Doul's, that's on you, son.
Hey, no, I've had both. I've had the green and the the lager and the amber. The amber's really good.
You like the amber? Okay.
Yeah, I like the amber way better than I like the lager. Way better.
Which one did you do, Junior? And Paul says, if so, did you enjoy it? I don't really know what to expect from it, to be honest. He's talking about the Manhattan Ale.
Oh, okay.
If he's tried it. And then Paul also told Junior that's on him for doing the review.
Paul needs to drink a Keystone Light. Come on, Paul.
Joe had not done the Manhattan yet. Paul says, speaking of a giant mistake, I see a Rolling Rock. Yes, you missed my opening. I pulled the brown bag special tonight, Paul. And then he says, not yet, maybe this week, Joe. Talking back to Joe. Junior, Tim said, Junior, I need some fix of the beer you did today. So I guess Junior brewed a batch today. What did you brew there, Junior? Just let us know. Junior says, what's up to Paul? Paul said, nothing too much, just chilling. Jason says, I miss his YouTube channel. But Junior's got a YouTube channel again now.
Does he?
I thought his one now, Junior's Brew View, is a new channel Junior's doing.
He says he's never had it.
You might be missing Mark's channel.
Oh.
Mark used to have a beer channel, I know. I don't know if Jason wants to clarify. Junior said, got off at 6 p.m., have to get up at 3 a.m., do it again.
Woo!
Paul says they recognize me from America's Most Wanted a lot. Craft beer zombie like that. He said, LOL. Earth says how to catch a predator. See where this conversation is going. Junior said he did the lager, wasn't bad, but want to try the amber. So he said the amber is better. So maybe Junior will find that one more favorable.
I found the amber better.
And then Paul replied, that's the one, Earth, going back to talking about catch a predator. The Manhattan Ale should be interesting, Paul. I'm not sure what to expect either, said Joe. Paul says he's never had a Manhattan before. Ooh, Manhattan's pretty classic out there to drink. You should try Manhattan sometime, Paul.
My great-grandfather loved Manhattans.
Yeah.
Loved Manhattans.
It was a popular drink for years out there, I know. In fact, if you ever watch like Bar Rescue, a lot of times they'll order Manhattans because it's should be like a well-known drink that people should know how to make.
Yeah. Uh-oh, my alarm's going off. My alarm's going off. You're in the background. You hear it?
Something in the oven?
No, it's. I'll be back
when your computer restarts at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Junior said, "Hey, never had a non-alcoholic beer before." Let's see here, Craft Beer Zombie. I'm not an AB fan at all, but have you seen the red lager they released over the summer? Yeah, here's the thing, like, so they got the lager here, and I think it's like $7.99 a 6-pack. And at $7.99 a 6-pack of the Budweiser red lager, I might as well just go ahead and buy one of the craft beer, like Sierra Nevada or something. I mean, for me, I just didn't feel it was worth it. Now, maybe I'll grab an individual here and there, but I just don't feel like buying that 6-pack at that price is worth it.
Now, I had the red lager. Oh, I had the red lager. I thought it was, you know, for a macro kind of beer, I thought it was a little thin and it didn't have a whole lot of flavor, but it was okay at best. I think I gave it like a B right around there. Not anything overwhelming, but certainly not bad.
Now, I will say that I will try when it comes out in the fall the Jim Beam thing they're working on Budweiser.
Oh, okay.
You like Jim Beam, so I'm going to try to see what that tastes like. That'll be one I'll look at for sure.
Is that going to be like a porter or something they're trying to make, or?
I forgot what style it's actually going to be, how they're labeling and everything, but it comes out I think like in September, where it'll be like a, I don't know, Jim Beam barrel Budweiser or something. So,
oh boy,
it'll be interesting. You know, they're trying different ways. I mean, they're buying or investing in some of these craft breweries, but they're also trying to come up with something, I guess, to get some type of the market. People to just go straight Budweiser, not having to pay a cut to these other craft breweries.
Right.
And Junior says you should get Tennessee Brew Works beer so good. I'll definitely keep an eye out for them because I do get some of the Tennessee beers up here. Jason says, how does Budweiser Red compare to the likes of Anchor Steam, Alaskan Amber, Sam Adams, his old stalwarts?
You want my opinion first?
Well, I haven't had it, so your only opinion I got right now, dog.
Oh, okay. I think it's a little bit lower quality. It's a little bit on the thin side compared to those beers. But, you know, if you're talking to someone who drinks that kind of style of beer too, so it's not really I kind of going into that thinking it's going to be like thin, not a whole lot of flavor, you know, pretty watery. So is it flavorful and have body? No. You're going to want those beers more than you're going to want that. But for me, knowing that going into that, it's going to be thin, it's going to be watery. It had a little bit of taste. So, I mean, if you're into craft beer, I guess go towards those two. If you're more into the watery style, not a whole lot of flavor, but maybe just enough of it there to get, then get the Budweiser.
You made that.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I honestly don't know how else to say it.
Oh. Well, at least it's not platinum, so. And Paul says, just say no to Bud, Rod. Well, what Bud are we talking about? And then Real Police Talk says, hello, everyone, which is actually Hillbilly Wine. Drunken One says, hey, Junior, anyone else I missed? Drunken One smile. Junior says, what state you in? Where to send a special package of good water? And then Paul says, people drink shit like that because there's alcohol in it, plain and simple. Well, yeah, people drink a lot of shit because it's alcohol. And then Eric with his courteous line of, I like Miller High Life, Paul. It's Drunken One says $1 whole per case goes to the vest. Big deal.
Yeah.
So they sell a case of it. They only sound like $1. It's not like a $1 pint or $1 can, rather.
That's to me. That's kind of bullshit. To me, I mean, come on. You make billions upon billions of dollars. You can't spare more than $1.
Yeah.
That kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah, I think it did with the Drunken One too. Yeah, I mean, as much as they actually make off the stuff, yeah, I'm sure they could do more. But they've done other stuff in the past too. But I don't know. What is the amount they should do. I mean, that's all subjective, I guess, when you think about it. But.
Yeah, I know. That's the only when they do stuff like that. Come on, step up to the plate. Give like $3-4 or maybe 50%. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like some of the local breweries here, they'll do like $1 off every pint they sell, which is pretty decent. I mean, for a craft brewery to do that, then they're cutting into their margins more than what Budweiser would. I mean, like $1,
Right.
they might have a pint night for it or whatever.
Right. Did you see Paul's comment?
Yeah, that's when you Eric MGD for life. So
I can't stand Miller Genuine Draft.
You can't stand it? Really? You just don't like that one?
No.
Did you drink it when you were in college?
Yes, I had way too much of it.
I did too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not something you look for now for sure. But yeah, I used to drink a good amount of it actually. Even my wife, when we were dating, like she's like, I can't believe you're drinking that.
It's hard to come by up here. You got to really search for Miller Genuine Draft up here.
Yeah, you got to dig. You got to hunt it out.
Yeah, you do. Now maybe where Paul's at, you can probably get it by the case. So
it's like down here, somebody walks by and they stop. They look back and like, was that Red Dog I saw? Was that Red Dog? And they,
I can get Red Dog. Yeah, I like Red Dog.
That's a throwback right there. I'm getting a 12-pack of that. I should do a review on Red Dog. Just I haven't had it so long. Just to
yeah. And your Rolling Rock.
And your Rolling Rock. I could do that. I could start a series called Cheap Beer Reviews and get some cheap beers and do it.
You would see the views go up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know what you think about Red Dog and Budweiser and Rolling Rock and Bud Light and all that.
I actually have seen, and I did this like last year, I think, but some views are starting to go up on my Natty Daddy now. So if people have noticed, I looked at that before, which I used to be a beer I would drink when I played softball. It was I wouldn't recommend everybody drinking like an 8%, 2 or 3 cans, especially if they pitch while they're playing softball, but it worked for me. So
now, when I was over in Pennsylvania, over by Paul's area, I was in Lancaster, and I almost went to the Lancaster Brewing Company because I drove by the place. I'm like, should I stop? And I'm like, I'm here for work. I don't want to get too shit-faced and end up with a hangover the next day.
Yeah, you should have checked it out and everything.
I should have just stopped in. I know I didn't. I just kept rolling by.
Sometimes just stop, take a picture, like, hey.
Yeah. Can I take a picture in here? They'd be like, what?
See, I lost my space here. Oh, so Junior says, Rod, I'll send you some Tennessee Brew Works. We can definitely talk, and I get you some stuff from up here too. Are you in Tennessee, Junior? I was thinking for some reason you were down in Texas, but maybe you are here in Tennessee. Craft Beer Zombie says it's $1 for a case. A case is 24 cans, right? So
yes, a case is 24. Yes.
I'm already giving us $1 out, and then Drunken was that marketing scheme, but I think he meant marketing scam, which I definitely agree. That's definitely a part of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Elbow says to the guy from Michigan, I'm sorry, I forget your name. Do you like the Goose Island beer? So Elbow's asking if you like the Goose Island.
I think Goose Island, to me, they're 312. Their urban wheat, I think, is okay at best. I don't think it's anything spectacular like you got to search out for, but their IPA is bad to me.
Yeah, well, stacked up against all the other IPAs you had now, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it had a little bit more body to it, it'd be okay, but no.
Yeah. Well, it's always it depends who's the prettiest girl at the dance, right? So if you walked into a certain place and they had like that and a couple other ones that were lower ranking ones, you might choose that one. So you're only as good as your options.
Yeah, I mean, but I like the Bourbon County Stout. I had a chance to get the barley wine, and I passed on it. But I haven't had any of the variants. But a couple people said that the variants of that Bourbon County were not as good as the actual. Well, at least some of the comments I read were not as good as the actual Bourbon County Stout itself. Like there was one with espresso. I think there was one with they did an Evans Williams barrels or something, right. A special. And they said it wasn't that great.
Yeah. And apparently in some parts of the country are sitting on shelves I've seen pictures of too. So
yeah. Like in New York, they're all over the place in New York City. They're just all over.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and that's a sign of over mass production in a way. So I mean, you get a big name behind you or pushing all the product out, but you end up stacking more out than you need. I mean, I walk now through some of the stores and I'm seeing the 1050 bourbon barrel. Like you couldn't even find that before when it came out. And it's like now it's like sitting on the shelf somewhere. You know, I'm seeing KBS sitting on shelves. It's kind of like you're over mass producing some of these beers.
Well, even Jean H. Pierre, when I was talking to him today, he said KBS is freaking everywhere down here. He said you can get it by almost by the case down here. He said it's just not moving. And he's in Mobile.
Yeah, I mean they saturated the market, I think, in some places, and you got so many different things out there that people want to try. And like I said, I haven't done this year's. I've got it upcoming to do this year's KBS as well as I got to do the Bourbon County, which are in the cellar. But last year's KBS, I'm sorry, it was okay, it was good, but it wasn't as far as the hype. It didn't live up to it for me.
Yeah, so I thought this year's was much better.
Yeah, that's what I've heard people say. So I'm waiting. I'll see what happens when I do that one.
Yeah.
But Paul says only the Bourbon County releases. All other Goose Island fell flat on his face. It really wasn't good. Very good to be in. What? It really wasn't very good to be in with anyway. I think to begin with anyway. So okay. Damn autocorrect. And then I do. Jason Voorhees says he did enjoy Matilda. And I do like Matilda. I do like Sophie. There's another one they have I haven't had. I thought those were good, but those aren't like your standard Goose Island type beers either. They're kind of specialty. Like
no, I did have a Matilda, and when I opened it up, it just gushed right out.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was way over carbonated. It just kind of just came right out of the bottle. Excuse me. But it was good. It tasted fine. It was just over carbonated.
And Paul says, has anyone ever seen it on draft? He hasn't. Is he saying Matilda on draft? Because I have in Chicago. And I've also seen the Goose Island IPA on draft before too. So I'm not sure.
think if you go to Goose Island in Chicago, I think they have Bourbon County on draft, but it's like way expensive to get.
Yeah, that one I haven't seen on draft anywhere, but yeah, that might be what he's mentioned. He's referencing to. Craft Beer Zombie said the Goose Island beers changed after AB took over. From people that I've seen out there, what people have said, there is a feeling they did make a changeover when AB. I didn't have them before AB took over, but I know like Tom the Beer Whisperer swears by it. Like it's different now that AB took over, and like Paul brings up the point, he didn't think the taste was all that there in the first place anyway. So is it an AB thing, or maybe just in your head saying it's an AB thing, or maybe you're
right.
So, like I said, I think they do. I mean, they're not a beer. I don't know if we ever covered their brewery when we did the brewery shows, but
I don't think we did.
They're not one that like I hunt down or whatever. Like I don't even stand in line to get the Bourbon County. Like if I got the last 2 bottles of Bourbon County just because they were on the shelves at our Kroger, and they were like, "Oh, Bourbon County, $9.99. All right, I'll pick up a couple bottles." They're not a brewery that really excites me that much. When you think about them and their offerings, Hunker's Ale isn't a bad one either, but it's kind of like there's so many other things that are out.
I can't even get the Hunker's Ale here.
Yeah.
I've looked. I can't get it.
You'd have to go over to Illinois to be able to get that then, I guess. Yeah.
Oh.
Because you don't get the bottles even when they come out with them? The 6-packs or anything like that? Okay.
I can only get the Goose Island IPA and the Urban Wheat. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Urban 312 Urban Wheat.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you're like the next state over from them. So.
Yeah, I'm only 4 hours away? Come on, Goose Island, step up your game.
What kind of shit is this?
Or they would try to say, hey, come to here.
I'm right here.
But I think maybe a trip to Chicago, maybe to the Goose Island kind of brewery might be okay. Might be maybe a future video, guys.
But there you go. So you go to Chicago, would you rather go to Goose Island or go to Lagunitas?
Both.
I mean, if you only had to choose one, which one would you choose?
Probably Lagunitas because they're cheaper.
Going to play the economic card, are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think their quality is a little bit better than Goose Island is, though, too. But they are cheaper on a lot of other stuff. I mean, you don't really find a bad value on Lagunitas beers. I mean, they all seem to be pretty much well priced. You're getting decent value, I think. Like of any of the breweries out there, even if they do have Heineken as their backer now, for the value for what you pay, I think they got probably the best value out there for beer that you can
Oh,
legitimately.
for sure. Yeah, leaps and bounds for sure. Because I know I can get a 6-pack of some of their better known beers for like $8.99 a 12 pack. Excuse me, a 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah, they're like the best value that I think you can find out there.
Yeah. And the same beer that they make from a different brewery, you would see $9, $10, $11 for a 6-pack, maybe even more.
Yeah. Let's see here, and then we had Drunken One. He said he hadn't seen Red Dog for a while. Yeah, like I said, they're not everywhere, but as a rare thing, like I get to hear Eric gets it there. It's like rare spots where you'll find the Red Dog out there.
Yeah, I can get Red Dog pretty regularly here. Now, I can only get the 24-ounce cans. I can't get like a 6 or 12-pack.
Oh, yeah, so we get like a 12-pack here.
Oh, we can, yes?
I don't think it's, I think it's just a 12 I've seen. And they might have it in the case, like we get individual cans. I'm not sure. I have to look to see.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then now Craft Beer Zombie said he really liked their IPA. So that's fine. Hey, you always follow your palate. If you like a beer, go ahead and drink it and enjoy it. And
yeah.
It's not a terrible IPA. I just think the more IPAs you have, it kind of slides down the slope for me.
You know, really, to me, Rod, if you like Keystone Light, drink Keystone Light. If you like Stone Enjoy by series, drink that. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not gonna look down on you either way, because I'll drink both personally.
Well, it's a matter of enjoying what you actually like, and screw it. I think one of the guys, we went out drinking, and the other night, one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drink this beer, but don't make fun." I was like, "Dude, just drink what you like," because he was getting like a macro or whatever, But I said, "But I know you like some craft too," because he loves like the some of the beers from Alltech that we get here in Kentucky. So it's like it doesn't matter what you want to have, you just expand your horizon and you go with what you like, End of the day, you're the one paying for it, so don't pay for something you don't like just to try to fit in or anything like that.
I mean, like for me, I'm a big Founders fan. I like all their offerings. Some people say, I don't like any of their offerings. Some people like Bell's. Some people like Atwater. Some people like Shorts. Some people like, what's another one around here that's big?
You got Arbor.
Yeah, Arbor Brewing. That's fine to me. It really doesn't. You're not gonna hurt my feelings because you don't like a beer that I like.
Don't forget Old Nation.
Oh, Old Nation, yeah, Old Nation, yeah. And speaking of Old Nation, because I'm from the Michigan area and they're only about a half-hour drive from me, I would like to see them kind of expand out to maybe a porter or an amber ale, or maybe maybe even a lager, maybe, I don't know, just something to kind of, because I know their kind of footprints now is an IPA. I know people are searching out IPAs, but I think they got the people there and the resources to actually brew those other style of beers that would be really good.
Well, the only concern that I would have, or I would say for a brewery, is kind of building off of what you actually know. Like, for instance, if you start going to other areas and are not as good, then you end up losing possible, people that want to patronize your brewery. So
right.
Like here in Cincinnati, I use the example of Rheingeist. Rheingeist, if you ask most Cincinnatians here, will think, well, it's mostly a IPA shop. And they do have a good porter, and they do some other stuff. I sent you guys a pressed tart where they're trying to do the sour. The pressed tart wasn't a terrible beer. It was a nice little Berliner type Weiss beer. But you're in the same city where we have Urban Artifact. And everybody in Cincinnati knows Urban Artifact is a sour, wild brewery. So it's kind of like when you come out with that, it's kind of like, how does that stack up versus them? And so it's a matter of, do you want to play those other type fields? I think, obviously, if you can show you can offer more beers, you've got a chance to get more people in. I think Mad Tree is actually the one brewery that's been able to accomplish that. But some of the other breweries do well by just sticking into their lane, staying in their lane. So I think it just depends. But the people will let you know, for sure. So that's what I like about our breweries here. They take a lot of the input from people.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, I don't want to see a brewery stick to kind of one style and to kind of only be that one style. I kind of want to see maybe some expansion and some forward thinking and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's all.
Well, I think over time, I think you get that evolution, but like that freaking Ball Sweet is pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. So, and they're trying to put that out there at different sporadic moments. It's not an all year brew for them, but they are putting it out there in a good amount of times. The M43s are all year type things, kind of their base core. But then they bring out, they had a Greenstone, they had a Force that you sent down to us, which thanks again.
No problem.
They're trying to find their footing and stuff, but they already know that the M43 is already a good success for them. You bring out that Ball Sweet 2 or 3 times a year, people are going to line up to get it. So
which I thought the Greenstone was kind of but I thought that Full Earth was awesome.
Yeah, Full Earth was really good too. So
yeah.
And that's not Earth after Thanksgiving. That's the name of the beer. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
And let's see here. Paul said it was solid before, and I did enjoy the Urban Wheat before the buyout. So he's talking about Goose Island. He said it drank it back in the day in Chicago in the late 2000s. And Junior did confirm he is in Tennessee. And I may actually go down to Tennessee at some point because in my day job that pays the bills, I can travel once in a while. And part of my territory is Tennessee, and I'm thinking about maybe going down to Nashville or something at some point. Brandon says
down to the honky tonk.
Yeah, Brandon says he misses the old Red Dog days.
They still make Red Dog, but I don't think it's not on the mass production that it once was.
Yeah, I mean it had its run out there for a while.
Yeah, I think it's still a great beer, personally.
I mean, the beer. That's the thing. Like the beer doesn't change, right? It's everybody's palates and attitudes and things along those lines that change if they're making the same formula. So, and that one came out as being mass produced, so I don't think they're changing what they're doing to make it, and maybe just making smaller quantities of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And Paul says he liked their Hunker's Ale more than most. He noticed. He said their coffee was amazing, and he heard. He said he heard their coffee was amazing, and he knew their barley wine was also amazing too. Talking about
I've heard good things about the barley wine. Yeah, which I haven't been able to try yet.
Drunken One says he saw Hoegaarden at the gas station $11.99 a 6, which is good. I was afraid he was going to say he saw a Hoegaarden at the gas station. So, $11.99 a 6. I can get it here for about $9.99 a 6 pack. I don't know if that's
for Hoegaarden.
For Hoegaarden, yeah.
I don't know what I could get it here for. I'd have to look.
Yeah.
But I know I can get it though. I just don't know what it is.
Now, see, Paul says he enjoyed 2017 KBS more than 2018.
Really? He would probably be one of the few that enjoyed it.
Everybody I've heard pretty much said 2018 they liked it better. But it is Paul. It is Paul.
Yeah.
Paul is special.
It is Paul. I would just like to try the variants just one time to kind of see how they differentiate between the base stout that they have. That's all.
Well, Joe said
I'll probably be never lucky enough to get them. So
at some point they'll get them out everywhere probably, but it's just taking a while because I think they're popping up more variants in places now than they were previously either. So again, that's because they got the push behind them with AB and Bev too.
Mm-hmm.
Joe said coffee and barley wine are fantastic as far as the BCBS variants go.
Yeah, I've had the stout. The stout is that's the best stout I've ever had. There hasn't been one that's even came close to that yet.
And then Lee Russell comes in with the where did he go? He's a restaurant there. It says seeing Dick Murdoch and SD Jones talking beer. Watch out, baby. And I am not SD Jones. I do win matches.
I'll tell you what. When I was out in Lancaster, we went to this one place. I can't remember where it was at, but they had it was in it was in Leola, Pennsylvania, which Paul probably knows where that's at.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's around that area, I think. But there was 120 taps, and they had Goose Island, they had not Atwater, they had a bunch of Pennsylvania breweries, had quite a lot of Michigan breweries, and they had KBS on tap. But for me, it was on lunch, and I'm like, I can't have that big of an alcohol beer and try to go back to work because they'd be like, see ya.
You be happy Eric in the workplace.
Yeah, the first plane back to Michigan is where you're at. So.
telling that story. What had happened was,
Yeah. I'm like, I'm thinking about going back there. Oh no, I don't want to. I'm like, fine.
And Paul was saying he met MGD on draft. If anybody's ever seen it, and I did back in the '90s. The last time I probably saw it on draft somewhere was MGD.
Oh yeah, for me too. Maybe early 2000s at the latest.
Lee says Tom swears by a lot of bullcrap. I don't even know about Tom. I'm talking about Tom Beer Whisperer. Joe says I've had both before they took over and after, but I agree with Paul that I didn't think their base beers were that good to begin with. So Joe wasn't a big fan of Goose before the takeover anyway.
I just find the Goose Island Urban Wheat is probably average, and their IPA is just too light. Not enough there. That's all.
He said you're not missing much, also. So by that happening,
There are much better IPAs out there than Goose Island. I would pass on Goose Island personally.
And then Joe says he liked the press tart, never had any urban artifacts, so can't compare. But like everything else, it's all subjective, which is true. It is all subjective in how you feel about the beer. You're only as good as what your universe is. So it's kind of like the more you have of certain categories, the more you get more of a feel of how they should be. Until that point, something is your favorite beer today. You have enough beers, and like 2 weeks later, you have someone else that might be your favorite beer.
Right. What do you think? I'm a big fan of Dogfish Head, and I don't know if anyone else is in the comments, but what do you think of Dogfish Head?
Dogfish Head is very solid of a brewery. I enjoy them. I just had their, and I haven't uploaded it yet. And I always get the name wrong. It's their, I think it was a Burton Banton 10% IPA, oak aged IPA. And that is smooth. That is smooth as can be. So they always do a lot of good stuff that I found. I think they're one of my more favorite, like, larger type breweries that are out there that you can kind of get everywhere almost.
Yeah, Dogfish Head is one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of their stuff.
Yeah. I've never really been disappointed. I don't think anything Dogfish Head's actually done. I think I've always enjoyed their beers for the most part.
Me either.
And then Paul said thank you to Craft Beer Zombie, who subbed to Paul's channel. And that's what it's all about. So, yeah, there's a few amount of beer tubers and people here. So, if you hit the 3 dots to the right of everybody's name, you can check out their channel. And we didn't even introduce, so Eric's got his channel, Eric, a Lions fan, if you want to see Eric's stuff and his reviews. And he talks about Detroit and Michigan and different sports type stuff, which is almost college football season, which is great. Eric, a Lions fan, all together. Check out his channel as well and subscribe too. What were you going to say, Eric?
I said football season's coming up, and if you guys want to check me out, I'm like Rod said, Eric, a Lions fan, EricAlinosFan, no spaces.
Yeah, so it's not good stuff. And Eric has the beer reviews out there too, and you have your other channel you just launched, right?
Yeah, I got my gaming channel going. There's not any gaming stuff on there yet. I've kind of been fishing for kind of what kind of games to play. I know this really isn't. It's more Rod's channel is more of a beer channel, but kind of fishing for what games to play. And I thought about Players Underground or maybe DayZ or kind of those kind of role playing games or maybe some strategy games, that sort of thing. Because Fortnite to me is just too kiddish, so I'm probably going to stay away from that. But if you guys got some suggestions, go ahead and put it on that. That channel is called The Fat Ugly Gamer. It's all one word, TheFagUGLYGAMER. All, no spaces. Just go ahead and throw something in the comments in the discussion area there and let me know what you guys think maybe I should play. So, and I'm a PC gamer too. I don't have a PS4 or Xbox or anything. So.
Yeah. And then I actually picked out another channel again for the game, and so I don't know if I'll keep messing around with it, but it's just Old Man Gamer. I kept it simple this time. So actually, I've been playing Fallout 4 kind of on that one right now, messing around. And
yeah, I've been thinking about doing Fallout too, but
just because I never finished it before, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just go in here and put segments into it and just sit back and drink beer and vegetate a little bit. I did do some gaming on the beer channel, which some people did seem to like that from watching that. So I don't know, I might bring that back from time to time, or just kind of focus on the other channel.
Now, I like the sports stuff you had in there, like the hockey and what else you have? Basketball do you have on there too?
I think most people like to have the voice say all kinds of weird stuff all the time. They would just type in stuff just randomly so the voice would have to. I was freaking like old school with Vince Vaughn. It's not a toy, Frank.
Yeah.
Here when he's doing the earmuffs.
Exactly.
Oh, let's see here.
But I don't see any questions in the comments. I mean, if are we all questioned out, or?
Let me see. I'm scrolling down. I know Tanya's here, and she said hi.
Hey,
So
what's going on, Tanya?
I saw her wave there, and
I'm gonna go get me one last beer here, Rod, before we sign off here. So.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I kind of lost my spot here that I had. Paul says Lagunitas all day, better quality beer, tastes better, beer better selection, and best price. Do agree that with all that Paul said there, pretty much. Joe says it's hard to compare almost any brewery to Lagunitas as far as value goes. Almost unfair. Yeah, I mean their deals are so good. It's hard to compare anybody else to them.
Yeah.
They're just so solid, and you get so much for what you pay as far as in comparison. I mean, like even their gnarly wine, which is their barley wine, I think it's like $8.99 for 22 ounce.
Yeah.
Lee says made from Beechwood, they'll made it from Budweiser. Oh, that's going back to another. I'm going to go into the whole stuff ahead. On top of that.
So the last beer of the evening for me is a Founders All Day IPA.
There you go. Craft Beer Zombie says, I am new here. When is the next one of these live streams? So we usually do this on Thursday at 9 or 9:15, around that time, Eastern. Usually it's myself and Eric. Usually Joe, who you see in the comments. The Beer Patrol is on here, and then we have another person, Todd. So usually it's four of us that are on here. Joe had to do some other stuff, although he is chiming in rather consistently, so he should have been here. No, just
come on, Joe.
That's on you. Stuff. And then Todd was having technical issues with it. Google just was not allowing it tonight. So Drunken One says, do you all get Lone Pint stuff? I don't. I've never heard of Lone Pint. I'm trying to think of Texas. I get Lone Star we get up here, but I don't think that's the same one. Lee says, yeah, you may want to skip all my comments real deep. I'll let people read them and they can ponder themselves. So, so you're drinking a Founders All Day IPA right now?
Yeah, that's kind of one of my go-to IPAs. I like it enough to buy it consistently.
Do you ever buy like the 15-pack? Is that what you usually get?
I just get 6s because I like the bottles better than like the cans.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just a bottle freak kind of thing. So
Earth says no. We need to read all of Lee's comments. Like they used to say back in school, silent reading, read amongst yourselves.
Yes.
Oh, have a good night, Lee. He said good night to everyone.
Yep, take it easy, man. Cheers.
And check out Lee's channel. Lee does some pretty funny podcast type stuff too. Like they look at older type movies and everything, which is pretty cool, and talk about that stuff. Drunken One says Founders are cool. Yeah, so Founders is a good brewery to actually sit back and enjoy. You think about the beers that Founders puts out, they're another one that's you don't really have like much of a bad beer, so I think I've had with them either.
Right.
Price wise, they're not really terrible on price either on stuff, so they're pretty comparable to some of the other breweries, and they don't try to gouge you really on anything I can think of outside of maybe the KBS or the CBS. Most of the other stuff comes down to be kind of a reasonable price.
Well, I think for the all day IPA, I spent like $9.99, which I think is a little pricey for an all day IPA. I think $8.99 or $7.99 might be a better price, but because it's 4.7 and 42 IBUs. But I mean, I like it enough where I'm still going to support them. I would rather have it be at that price point, more or less.
But you're in Michigan, so you never know what the price should be because everything.
Exactly. I honestly think that this state gets gouged on craft beer.
Yeah. Well, as your tax, we did a tax table one of the shows, and we were showing the different stuff around the country. And Michigan was one of the higher states getting taxed on alcohol.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah. And Jamie's here. Jamie says you can give me a birthday shout out if you really need something to do. So happy birthday, Jamie, Basement Beer. So,
happy birthday, sir.
Joe wishes Jamie a happy birthday before he told Lee to take it easy. And Ernst is wishing happy birthday. Everybody can wish happy birthday to Basement Beer,
Yeah.
Joe says 15 packs of all day are $17.99 here. That's a bit steep. Man.
I think that's what they are here.
Was that a man like a Chris Tucker, man? That's steep, man.
That's steep, man.
But yeah, I think here I'm thinking like here for the 15 pack. I want to say it was like $13.99, but I might be wrong there. But I thought that's what it was.
Now they're solid gold, which that's Founders kind of lager. That's competitive with your Bud Miller Coors style. They've kind of put that price down a little bit. They must have listened to
too, right?
They must have listened to a bunch of people complain like, why is it so much more? So.
And you said you liked that one, right? I think when you did the review.
I liked it, but I can't see.
Yeah.
What's that?
You liked it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it. I think it's a little bit more hoppier than like your Bud Miller Coors style, but to me, I'm like I agree with Joe. I don't see any big price disparity. I don't see any difference in flavor enough for me to jump to the Founders than me switching from Miller. That's just
right.
To me, I'm a Miller fan. That's going to be kind of my go-to where I'm out working outside on a hot day and I want something. I'm not going to reach for Founders. I'm going to reach for a Miller product. That's
right. Yeah, that's the thing you get.
But I'm a Miller fanboy, so.
Well, it's like the Pabst APA. The 6-pack at Tallboy cans is $7.49. They make it a Tallboy can, so then it becomes a little interesting. But if it was like the regular, it's like, why would you jump to that if the price is competitive versus like your Sierra Nevada Pale? You might as well get the Sierra Nevada, right? So,
right.
But yeah, we got one line here, and I'm surprised. Like we got two lines. One is the Iron City, which is one of our local breweries, kind of brewing it under a different label for Kroger. When they're at $8.99 a 6-pack, and it's like, dude, this beer is not even close to being worth that. At best, you may be $6.99. And then the other one is, oh shoot, who's the other one I was just thinking of? Oh, it's World Brews, like this. I want to say is a Diesel Punk, and theirs are like $9.99 and $10.99 for some of this. Like, dude, you guys are not that great. But they put them up there so it looks as competitive as some of the other ones. And some people actually, I guess, are buying them. But it's like, I can't believe they're happy when they get those at home. They're just not that taste. But it's almost like if you're too low, you get looked over. But if you put your price close enough, you'll get people to actually take a chance on you. Right. I think it's just a bad product you're putting out there and turns people off towards craft beer. Like, well, shit, I might as well go back and just drink Budweiser then or Miller or whatever if they were experimenting with it. So
well, it's kind of the same way with Walmart in their Rockdale series. I mean, a bunch of people didn't care for that Rockdale series. They said, well, I'm just going to go back to, like you said, back to Budweiser, back to Miller, back to Coors or Pabst or whoever. Right. I never had it. I never had a chance to buy that product. I haven't seen it up here. But a lot of people I have watched, like there's a couple of beer reviewers who are like lagers quite a bit. They're just like, just buy your Bud Miller Coors products. This is a subpar product.
Right. And then Foamy Head says he can get a 15-pack for all day for $16.49. Also San Antonio Metroplex. So
once in a while, I'll see it on sale. A 15-pack for $15.49.
You seen it for $15.49?
It's on sale, though. I think the regular price is like $17, $16.99. I think is what it is.
And Joe said
$1.50 off.
Joe says, he says, solid gold was fine for what it is, but if I'm drinking an American adjunct lager, the extra price isn't worth it for me personally. And that's what you were saying basically too, Eric. Like, it's not worth you to make that jump. You might as well save a couple bucks and just go ahead and do the other one.
Yeah. But for me, I'm going to drink the cheapest that I like and the taste that I like. That's me. I'll drink cans before I drink a solid gold. But I mean, it's not anything against Founders or anything like that. I just can't see jumping to a craft brewery that's trying to make a lager. That's the point I'm trying to make.
And then Earth said exactly agreeing with Joe said. And Foamy Head said, wow, is that just regular? He said he paid $18.49 for a Sierra Nevada 12-pack today. What 12-pack did you pay that for, Foamy Head? But please don't say it was just a pale ale, because that's more than it should be for a 12-pack of Sierra Nevada pale ale.
For what did he pay?
$18.49.
I think that's
overpriced for a Sierra Nevada pale ale.
You let it sit on the shelf at that price.
Yeah. Earth said, I thought I was doing decent with 15-pack of Golden Rule Wolf Pump for $15. Now, considering you're in San Diego, you probably are, or in the San Diego area. I'm sure some stuff are probably inflated out there too.
Yeah.
How was that Wolf Pump, by the way? I saw a can of that earlier today, and I'm kind of curious to see how that tasted like. I did do the berry guava wheat, and I'll upload that one, which I told you guys about the me contacting Golden Road, but actually the taste and everything was good. It was just the appearance, I think, kind of hurts a little bit.
Can you get the Wolf Pup in your area?
Yeah, I saw that at one of our stores here earlier today. And
I can't get it up here.
That Pico de Mexico actually wasn't bad for a lime type beer. I'm not a huge lime beer fan, but that one with the cucumber lime and the habanero spice kick wasn't bad. Let's see. Any other questions out there? Nothing yet. But no, I just thought tonight would be a good night to just, instead of us coming in we'll never really have a script when we come in. It's kind of like just picking stuff up and running with it. But
yeah,
to just make, the focus again, I appreciate everybody that's been watching the channel and tuning in and, subscribing and all that good stuff. Still trying to get to that 1,000 mark, but definitely, it takes time, definitely growing, and just going to keep working forward. But I thought it'd be great to put the spotlight on those that have supported the channel. Joe says he thinks he might grab Cherry Jane this weekend. Have you seen it yet, Rod? I do. I have seen it. I haven't picked it up yet, and I need to pick it up because, again, that's one of the one-hitter series, so not much longer how it's going to be here. So I'll probably try to grab it this weekend. I'm hoping to try to grab an individual rather than a 6-pack because I don't need a 6-pack in all the stuff I got here right now. So I think I might head out to Jungle Gyms this weekend, which has like everything you're gonna possibly want to have there. It's like freaking Candyland. Including having like kegs and draft right there too, so you can actually drink while you shop. Which drinking when shopping makes everybody just happier. I mean, I think you end up getting more stuff than you actually need when you're actually sitting there drinking.
Now
you're seeing all the stuff, and then you got like the food, and you're like, oh, you just end up spending more than you should be, probably.
Now there's a place I can go to, and I can actually get a beer, and I can do my shopping, and I can go back, pay for my stuff, take it out to my car, and come back and drink some more.
There you go, right? So that's how this is. And to show you how much they're ahead of the curve, their carts actually have cup holders for your beer while you shop.
No way.
You just put it right in there. You don't have to worry about spilling it anywhere. It holds your cup of beer. And it's a good pint cup they give you over there. They have probably 25 or 30 taps that they have there.
Wow.
The Jungle Gyms is, I think I mentioned before, like Zagat, the one that rates everything out, or different places. And their rate is one of the top 5 places in the country to buy beer. So nice. It's kind of like, it's like if you're an adult and you love beer, it's like being that kid going into like back in the day Toys R Us right before Christmas. You're like so much doing toys and stuff. So you're like a fool out there just running around crazy. And then what they actually do, they have a lot of stuff in your 4-packs, your 6-packs, all that stuff. But they have just about everything can be bought individually. And so when I was out there last time talking to the guy, he says, some of the lower price stuff might get a little bit of an uptick. But then if it's already like a a decent like $11.99 for a 6-pack or $12.99 for the specialty, they don't uptick it at all because they don't want you to get a bottle of an individual and then spending that much more than what it would be if it was part of that 6-pack. So they kind of price it out kind of differently. So their labels have little codes on it so they can actually look at it and tell you how much more is getting kicked up or not. So
okay,
that's kind of a nice little deal. And they do a lot of stuff too. They put Rod J deals. They were doing the it wasn't Tout Le Monde, but it was one of the ones from that brewery, and it was like $3.99 for a 4-pack of their beers. So you like $1 a beer, and they had the Antwerpen for four. It was $2, for a 4-pack. So it was 50 cents at Antwerpen. You couldn't beat that. So
no,
it's a pretty solid place, and it's like, you just go around and you pick out your beer. They got like little. It's like Costco where they have like little. If you go on a Saturday, you got little snack stuff around. They got like little snack tables so you can grab little snacks and hors d'oeuvres while you're drinking your beer.
I think the place I also go to, you can actually get a glass of wine and do your shopping too. They have a beer, they have a bar, and then they have like a little wine tasting place.
Yeah, they have the wine here as well. Actually, in a few of our stores now that are like, we have one called Party Town. I think I've showed you guys before, but they have taps there so you can buy while you shop. We have another one, a Cork and Bottle. They put in like 7 or 8 taps in there so you can do the same thing. And and then Party Source, they got like stuff there. So they got different places that have little taps and stuff out there. So you're enjoying your beer while you're shopping. So, and they're always have to give you a sample, make sure you like something before you actually buy it.
Yeah.
I don't use as much now that I used to use more of was the growlers. I don't know if you ever use growlers or if you're still using them.
I haven't used my growler in a long time.
I haven't either. I got like 3 of them down there, and they kind of just are in their closet. But that used to be kind of a thing where you go out because you do get some deals that have come out on these kegs as well too. So you go to one of these places that will do a growler draft for you.
Filling a growler over here is expensive. I mean, it's like $10 to $15 to fill one. I'm like, I'm not going to pay that when I know I can get a 12-ounce pour for way less.
Yeah.
Or even sometimes even a pint.
Yeah, we get some of those too, and then we get some that no one's buying it off the keg, so you got to get rid of it. And so then it'll go to like $8 a growler or something.
Yeah, that's unheard of for here.
Yeah, that might cause a murder.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just don't understand for people that want to take home a beer and have it be 64 ounces. Why am I paying an uptick in filling a 64-ounce growler? I mean, I've already have the. I already have the glass bottle. Why are you charging me $15 to pour the beer out?
Right. Yeah. All you can do is fill it.
I'll just buy your I'll just buy your 4 or 6-pack for that price.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the places there yet that have the self pour? Like when you go out to a bar, you can pour your own beer and it charges by the ounce.
Apparently, there's some over by Detroit, but other than that, no.
We got like a couple places that are popping up now where basically you pour it yourself. You go there in your car and you just do the pour you want to do it. And it's kind of like going to a yogurt shop, right? Where you just fill up your yogurt cup or whatever. That's how it is like for the beer. You pour how much you want because you may not want a full beer and it just charges you for that amount, which is kind of interesting.
I've heard about them over in Detroit, but nowhere in my area yet.
And then Drunken One says, hell yeah, I camp right out back, talking about me going to Jungle Gyms. Basement Beer says, I saved 25 cents on the Moosehead Rattler that Nick made me buy. How'd you say 25 cents? Was that to return the cans maybe there?
Yeah.
I think in Canada, they return stuff too, I believe, right?
Yeah, we have 10-cent deposit.
Yeah. And then Joe says, by the way, Eric and Rod, beer mail should go out next week. We'll let you guys know when they're on the way. Well, thank you, brother. Definitely appreciate it. And
thanks, buddy.
Something forward to look forward to. I can take Treehouse and what's the other one he said? It was at Trillium off the list.
Trillium and Treehouse.
Yeah, take those off the list. But looking forward. I don't know if Joe's gonna do the mystery wrap up or not. That'd be kind of interesting if he does. Though.
That would be a good one for a mystery wrap up.
Yeah. I did watch Joe's video on the Who Done It, I guess, or what was he? I forgot what Joe called it, but he did the mystery beer. He was trying to guess what it was. So that was pretty cool.
I have to see. I'll have to watch that one. I haven't watched that one yet, I don't think.
Yeah. So he was going through trying to figure out what it was and stuff. So it does kind of, when you don't have some of the stuff out there, you try not to read some of the stuff that'll persuade how you're thinking of it, or look online ahead of time to get kind of that feel what it should be. But it can definitely be interesting. So
for sure.
But I guess who done it? He said he shit the bed on the last one. So the series is titled Who Done It. And he said he just did another one that'll be uploaded on Sunday and did it better. But if you go to get a Cicerone type title, I mean, that's what you got to do, is do like the blind stuff and be able to know what it is, the style and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool. It's good for practice and everything too. So, but definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and get ready to shut it off, I guess. And Eric, I'll give you the stage.
All right. Guys, if you've had too much to drink, please get a designated driver. If you guys have watched any other Rod J Beer Ventures, kind of our beer chat, I'm going to say it one more time. It's stupid to drive home drunk, guys, so don't do it. Get an Uber, a taxi, a Lyft, just somebody to come get you, because if you don't, you're going to get pulled over by the cops. You're going to make you do the stupid-ass sobriety test, get thrown in the cop car, jail, and then court fees, and then possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you're going to be in the slammer for a while. And if you kill yourself, all you've done is hurt your family and friends and put yourself 6 feet under, okay? Just sleep off your buzz and get your car the next day.
There you go, because we care. We care on this channel. We want to make sure we watch out for you. And great accomplishment, the drunken one. Totally off subject. He said he walked over 10K paces the last 4 days. So that's awesome. Good job there. Everybody get out there and exercise a little bit. Work off some of those beer calories.
Exactly.
Have that healthy heart and healthy brain. Thank you, Eric. Eric says great show. And tomorrow I'll be uploading, thanks to Todd, I will start getting into the 450 North beers. So tomorrow I will upload Tropic Nuggets. And then after that, probably Saturday, I should be able to get OJ Nuggets up. And then probably Flapjack Nuggets on Sunday. And then I'll wrap it up with the other Upland beer that Todd sent too. So, Earth is no. I'm not. You just get tired of that. Earth is like time for the Four Horsemen. So,
no Four Horsemen. No.
I'm trying not to overkill the Dusty Rose and the Four Horsemen. So we'll save that for another time. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. If there's other things you'd like to see on the channel, always feel free to comment. And I appreciate all the comments coming in. I will actually reply to all the ones I haven't replied to yet tomorrow. So I'm sorry, it's been between work and drinking beer. I haven't actually had to catch up on all the comments. So definitely appreciate all the input. Appreciate you guys. And here's to 1,000 more videos and some more good talks. And we look forward to catching you guys next time. Keep drinking those craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. We're out.